Welcome to War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast, coming to you every week from deep within the Outer Rim, far beyond the westful ice of the Galactic Empire. Join your hosts, John Mark Tolley, Garrett K. Jones, and Brian Karasik, as they discuss the various facets of the saga's lore, characters, review the films, and discuss every tidbit of news coming out of Lucasfilm. And remember, this isn't just my Star Wars, this isn't just your Star Wars, this is our Star Wars.
And it is indeed our.
It is indeed, once again, a war. Well, yes, that's what I was going to say. I think we might be a little bit short. Yes, welcome to War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. My name is John Mark Tolley, joined as always by my host, Garrett K. Jones. We are short one, Brian Karasik. We wish him the best. He had some medical issues that he was dealing with. But we're going to be holding it down today and talking about the Lady Luck. But before we do, we actually had, and I wish I could remember this person's name, who brought up a point that I wanted to talk to you, Garrett, concerning last week's show. In the little description we talked about luck and how it was luck that Anakin was able to bag Padme, so to speak. And this person asked the question, is it possible that Anakin was unknowingly using Force persuasion to get Padme to fall in love with him even without knowing he was doing it? And I was thinking about looking back at that scene at the lake on Naboo, and just that whole scene. I'm like, was it possible that he was subconsciously using the Force?
It's entirely possible, but how does that affect her after the fact, after they've been away?
Yeah, I don't know. Was it and my question was is she weak-minded enough to fall for that? Because she doesn't seem like a very weak-minded person.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I would not have considered her a
I think there might have been some Force used, but I think the underlining feelings were already there. So it was just, maybe the Force was used just to kind of amplify it a little bit.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to say.
It's an interesting question.
Very hard to say. This would definitely be a comment or a discussion point that we could talk about on another episode in more depth. We'd have to watch through that scene and see if we're seeing the same thing, and who knows? That's entirely possible. I never considered that he may have unconsciously hypnotized Padme into falling in love with him.
I wouldn't know if it's hypnotizing, but definitely.
I mean, what is a Jedi mind trick if not psychically hypnotizing somebody?
True. Hold on, I'm texting somebody.
And it's entirely possible that Anakin is capable of doing two different things with the Force at once, because we have seen him block, blaster bolts with his lightsaber while choking someone out with the Force.
Yeah, and we've also seen him levitate a TIE fighter while making his cape billow dramatically in a windless cave at the same time.
Also, yes.
But it also brings up the question of using the Force subconsciously, like without realizing you're doing it.
Yeah, that is entirely possible.
Which is which is scary to think, that
if that were the case, though,
I would with that amount of power
I would need to find out what Anakin's secret is, because if he could do it, I need to learn how to do it so that I can make Scarlett Johansson fall in love with me. Or Elizabeth Olsen.
Yeah.
Either one. I'm good.
I have no. I have nothing to say on that.
Well, you're a happily
I'm a
married
happily
man. You
married.
don't need to say anything about it. Me, on the other hand, I'm woefully
Yeah.
single. But I have my cunning hat though. It keeps me company on cold nights.
Ooh.
We're mixing some. I know it
Cold
looks
night
like
in
candy corn.
in Central California. What do you consider cold in Central California?
Anything below 40 degrees. I mean, we
Yeah,
do
that's
get freezing
chilly.
temperatures here. Not so much in the last few years, but we do get freezing temperatures during the wintertime. If the weather is right, we have enough
Yeah.
moisture. It does get freezing cold. In fact, that used to be a big issue for us.
Talk to me when you get the wind hurts your face and you can throw water and it freezes instantly. When you start getting
Okay,
into
but you
wind
don't get to talk
chills
about
that
hot.
are minus.
You don't get to talk about hot until you can actively hard boil an egg on the sidewalk.
Okay. But it's a dry heat.
Not always. Not always. We sometimes get those nice humid. It can be 90 degrees, but it's 85% humidity, and it does not feel pleasant at all. Plus, I live within 5 miles of a dairy, and trust me, brother, it smells. And I don't care what those agriculturists say about how it smells like money. It smells. Anyway, we're not talking about that. We are talking about luck, but in a different context today. We are talking about the Lady Luck, which is
the Lady Luck, yes.
Which is the second ship owned by one Lando Calrissian.
Yes.
Now, speaking of Lando Calrissian,
I don't know why I made that face.
Did you know that Lando Calrissian has a small part in the new Spider-Man movie?
He does, really?
Yes. Iman Esfandi, who we saw playing Lando Calrissian in Ahsoka season 1, has a little bit part playing Mary Jane's boyfriend in Spider-Man: Brand New Day.
Oh.
Of course, when I say Lando Calrissian, I mean Ezra Bridger, but he called himself Lando Calrissian. So
no, he called himself Jabba.
Damn it!
He was Jabba.
He did both. He did both.
Oh, he did both? Because I know that's always the joke of showing a picture of Ezra and saying it's Jabba the Hutt.
Oh God! If I botch this joke, I'm gonna kill myself. I mean, sorry, give myself the forever nap. Don't want YouTube dinging us.
We don't want to be demonetized for a podcast and a YouTube show that we make no money off of.
Exactly.
Yes.
Yes, he did.
Oh, okay.
He did use Lando Calrissian as an alias during Star Wars Rebels.
Nice.
When he was dealing with Hondo.
Of course, when he was dealing with.
So yes, my joke lands.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't Hondo know who Lando Calrissian? But wouldn't Hondo know?
I don't know.
Everyone who would know who Lando Calrissian was.
I don't know what Hondo knows.
Or did Hondo maybe knew and he was just like, yeah, I'll just string the kid along.
I'm just happy that my joke landed.
Okay.
After some massive self-doubt there. Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh. That was almost bad. That was almost really bad on my part. You had me second guessing. You had me so, oh my gosh. You had me so gaslit that I was second guessing my own ability to know things about Star Wars. Thanks for that, Mark.
Did you gaslight yourself?
You do not know anything about Star Wars, Garrett. As Jedi mind trick myself. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I Anakin. I was the Anakin to my own Padme.
Oh, it's gonna be one of those episodes.
It's gonna be one of those episodes, of course. Oh man. So we're talking the Lady Luck. And not only do we have Wikipedia here to work off of, but I've also brought in my essential guide to vehicles and vessels from the Ballantine printing used for the role-playing game put out by West End. So we've got so the Lady Luck, as you guys can see, is a luxury 3000 space yacht.
So I see that Wikipedia has an extensive, yeah.
And it once belonged to Lando, and he bought it shortly after the Battle of Endor, that we can see there.
Yes.
So, what are your experiences with the Lady Luck? Like, I mean, because my experiences are very limited. I haven't read nearly as many of the game the books as you and Brian or Brian
I mean,
have.
just hearing about it, knowing that, I mean, basically, there's not a lot because it's always mentioned that it's Lando's ship, that it's a yacht. So not really a lot. I mean,
supposedly
yeah,
we get
yeah,
we
it
kind
was
of saw it on Persona in Rise of Skywalker, but I don't remember ever seeing the ship there.
I don't remember it either.
So that's interesting.
It looks very. I mean, I find it very interesting looking at it, compared to the previous ship he had, which was very, of course, the first ship that we know of being the Falcon, and they seem almost completely different. Like the Falcon is very much a freighter, and whereas this is very, very much. This seems more like what we see in Lando when we first meet him in Empire. This seems more his style, like luxury, very, very fancy, opulent.
What's interesting is I mean, he's always been one to kind of aim for wealth and stuff like that, and that opulence, as you say. But at the same time, you have to think about what the kind of position he was in before. When we first meet Lando in the Solo film, he's a gambler, and I mean, what better way to travel very incognito than in a
A freighter.
a freighter that you've got
Yeah.
the inside decked out to look like basically a pleasure yacht. I mean, to be fair, I think the freighter is going to be a little bit bigger. It's going to have a lot more space for you to walk around in.
True.
And I mean, he could have done any number of things to mod out the cargo holds and all that just to make extra space for whatever he wanted to do in there. Because no one just, you think, oh, he's going to be on his pleasure barge or his pleasure yacht or whatever. That's what people are going to be looking for. They're not going to be looking for a freighter, especially a Corellian one. But yeah, it's kind of interesting because like it was, so the manufacturer of this is Sorosub Corporation, which looking at their information here, they are a Sullust-based company whose tech division developed and manufactured a great variety of technological goods, from droids and sensors to weapons and vehicles.
Yes.
They're mostly owned by the Commerce Guild, and they put together a lot of stuff.
I believe they did the Z95.
I thought
Yep.
Incom did the Z95
Maybe.
because
I know they.
the Z95 Headhunter was kind of a precursor to the X-wing fighter,
Yeah.
and Incom did
I don't know
that one.
because I know Incom did the X-wing, but I'm not sure. I know they did. I thought they did a fighter.
Well, they do have. Let's see here. I'm looking at. They've got Fang class flash speeders, force pikes, heavy patrol speeders, guardian police droids, comlinks, space yachts, cruiser carriers, air speeder, land speeder, precision blaster. They do a lot of weapons and speeders.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm pulling up the Fang class to see what I can find there. So the Fang class, those are fighters. So the
Okay.
Fang fighter, which were used by the Protectorate, and they were manufactured in conjunction with Mandal motors
Okay.
used by the Mandalorian protectors. So
So
the Fang fighters used by the Mandalorians were built in conjunction with Sorosub on Sullust.
So looking at what this picture right here I got up, I see a big. It looks the design is very similar to what we see of the sail barge.
Yeah,
Like
with the
very similar to the sail barge.
yeah, it
Like
does.
a little more aerodynamic, but
Yeah, because sail barges don't move very fast. I mean, they move fast enough, but yeah, like these are. I mean, you've got those nacelles, which are actually. It looks like they're hiding hidden cannons
yeah.
to some degree, but then I mean, the whole thing is rigged with weapons as well. I mean, you've got a cannon here, forward cannon there. You've got side cannons as well. There's one right there.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the pilot station there. I mean, this is not a very big ship to be. I mean, like like I said, going back to the Falcon, I think the Falcon was a much bigger vessel.
Yeah.
So the thing I have here from the Vehicles and Vessels Guide is interesting. It says the Lady Luck is Lando Calrissian's own modified space yacht. Lando acquired it from an Orthellan royal mistress at about the same time that he was setting up Nomad City, his mining operation on the sun-scorched world of Naklan. So, Mark, this makes me want to ask the question: what would you do for a Naklan dike bar? Well, I'll be here all week, folks. Please send your letters to Kathleen Kennedy at lucasfilm.com. So yeah, the yacht is only 50 meters long, a pair of engine pods extending from the main hull. Each pod houses a sublight engine and a hyperdrive engine. So if one goes out, the other one can still be used. Lando has always preferred finesse and misdirection to brute strength, and the Lady Luck reflects that philosophy. The ship appears to be an unarmed pleasure yacht, giving him a decisive advantage when dealing with smugglers, who tend to make snap judgments and base all their decisions on the initial impression. Beneath the sleek hull is an unusually sophisticated sensor system with two forward sensor arrays that allow the Lady Luck to detect, identify, and scan incoming vessels from an incredible distance, letting Lando know exactly what he's dealing with. The Lady Luck's only other defenses are a retractable laser cannon and a pair of shield generators, so the sensor system is a necessity. Lando intends to upgrade the weapons, hull plating, and shield generators to make the ship better suited for combat. There's hidden smuggler compartments with a beckon call unit, which and the yacht actually has a droid brain. So if he summons it, it'll automatically go to wherever he is because he carries the controller on his belt. And it does have extravagant taste. Now here's something fun. It says, with Naklan destroyed by Grand Admiral Thrawn's forces, Lando placed the Lady Luck in temporary retirement while he returned to active duty with the New Republic. He brought the Lady Luck back into active service in an attempt to rescue Han Solo after the Corellians' disappearance while on a diplomatic mission to Kessel.
Hmm.
Yeah. So it does have an observation deck with retractable viewports. There is a docking coupling on top of the bridge. So there's the long range sensor transceiver, which is that dish that we see on top of the rear hull.
Yeah.
So it's got a pretty uh, fantastic array. Oh, I take that back. What we see here on the underside, that is not a cannon. That is a sensor array.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I take that back. Yeah, no, that's the sensor array. This is, and this down here is a comms transceiver.
Okay.
But underneath, there is a retractable
Cannon.
cannon. And let me see if I can find a picture with that. Probably not. Who knows? And this is the picture I tried opening before. It wouldn't work. It's better, not by much. So, yeah, this is the Lady Luck.
Yeah.
Now, I would love to see this ship on screen, either
I
in
would
animation or live action. I think it would be so cool.
I would too. Yeah.
We don't get enough of this kind of stuff.
No, we don't.
Like, I mean, for a creator who does a lot of deep cuts, I am surprised that like Filoni hasn't done something with the Lady Luck. Like we easily should have been able to see it in like Star Wars Resistance, or because doesn't Lando show up in that show too?
To be honest, I haven't watched much of Resistance.
Let me take a look. Hold on. Lando show up in Star Wars Resistance? No, he does not.
Okay.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
That is an absolute bummer. But we do get to see him flying the Millennium Falcon again in the Rise of Skywalker.
We do. Yes. So there's one good thing that came out of that movie.
Yes, the one good thing.
The
one good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like overall, like this is one of those ships I wish we could have seen more of in the series, or in any series, or in any form of the franchise. But it's at the same time, like I don't know how they like the only way I could think of them going in and organically including it would be like if they brought Lando Calrissian back in for something else. Like, what I would like to see is another. I wouldn't want to see a series, but like maybe like an animated miniseries, bringing back Donald Glover to play a younger Lando Calrissian with like voiceover done by
Billy D.
Williams, taking place after the events of Return of the Jedi. I'd like to see the in between, to see where how he went from, a general in the Rebel Alliance to where we see him in Rise of Skywalker. I think that would be cool. And seeing the Lady Luck being one of the first things he does, like I can almost see it like he sees this yacht like after the war, and he's like, this right here, this is my new ship. This is the thing I'm gonna love for the rest of my life. And it's like it could be that moment like when Malcolm Reynolds first sees the Serenity in Firefly. That kind of like love story between a man and his ship.
Yeah.
I could see that. That would be fun.
I could too. Yeah. I mean, what else can we say about it? I mean, there's not a lot to say.
No, there isn't.
Well, I mean, there's not really a lot about the Lady Luck.
Well, hold on. Let me see. In which books which Star Wars books does the Lady Luck appear? And it appears in Dark Force Rising, because that was the first time I remember hearing about it.
Yeah.
That's in the second book in the Thrawn trilogy by Timothy Zahn. Shows up in The Last Command and several Jedi Academy books and New Jedi Order books.
Yes.
So chief among them, it shows up in all 3 books in the Thrawn trilogy, Jedi Academy trilogy, so Jedi Search, Dark Apprentice, Champions of the Force, the Corellian trilogy, so Ambush at Corellia, Assault on Salonia, Showdown at Center Point, the Hand of Thrawn duology, the New Jedi Order, so Vector Prime, Star by Star, Destiny's Way, and the Unifying Force, and then Fate of the Jedi, the book Outcast.
Okay.
But appearances in canon, the ship is reintroduced in canon in the book Last Shot by Daniel Jose Older. It does show up in the Young Jedi Knights series, Shadow Academy, and Trouble on Cloud City episodes.
Mm.
And it's mentioned in Shadow Games and Shatterpoint. Which
Okay.
isn't Shatterpoint the story with Mace Windu?
That, I don't know. I haven't read that one yet. So
let me see. Hold on. Star Wars Shatterpoint. Image. Yeah, it's the one that has Mace Windu on the Clone Wars novel by Matthew Stover. Interesting.
Okay.
That the ship would take place in a book that is set way before the events of Lando getting his hands on the ship.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, it is kind of cool. It also, I mean, knowing what we know from the Solo movie, I find it interesting that he would use put a droid brain in it. Again, considering what we see of him do, it kind of makes sense. I mean, maybe that's just something that he does now. Like he saw how it worked with the Falcon.
Well, I mean,
he's like,
I'm not
let's upgrade it even more.
that he would do that. I mean, he had a fondness for his navigation droid that he had in Solo, and the fact that he preserved her memory core.
Fondness.
And the fact that he preserved her memory core and her ability to calculate into the ship's navicomputer, it says a lot about, how much he tries to preserve. Like, I mean, like we see, like one of the characters we see in Empire Strikes Back, who like nobody is going to take into consideration for a lot of things, but Lobot, he shows up in other stories alongside Lando. Like shortly after Lando gets the Lady Luck, Lobot is one of the people that he has working on the ship.
Yeah.
So it's kind of neat that he does have that affinity for people or droids or cyborgs that work for him. I don't know if there's really much else to say about that.
No, I mean this is probably going to be a shorter episode, but I think we kind of knew that going in.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. And I think we're good to keep them short from time to time because it keeps our audience guessing.
It does. It does. Keeps them on their toes.
Yes. So I think that about wraps it up for us today.
Yeah. Well, why don't you tell the folks out there what we can expect next week?
Well, next week we are not going to have a show because of spring break. It's the week leading into Easter. And but there's still going to be 4 other weeks in the month of April where we will be able to provide you guys with some wonderful content. And so we will be back in 2 weeks with a brand new episode, and we'll enjoy that. You guys will as well. And yeah, that's gonna be it.
Yes, we hope you have a wonderful Easter.
And if you don't celebrate Easter, enjoy the chocolate once it goes on discount.
Exactly. Garrett, why don't you tell the fine folks out there where they can find you at?
Oh, before I tell them about me, I'm gonna bring up Brian because he's not able to share it himself. But Brian Karasik is our local Sith Lord. He goes by the name Darth Corrosis, and he is part of the Facebook group, the Sith Library and Archives, where he posts as Darth Corrosis. You can find him on Instagram at Corrosis. And there's another Facebook group that he's a part of that is more on the Imperial side of things, less on the Sith, where he is, I can't remember what his rank is. I think, what was it, lieutenant or ensign? I don't know. I don't know. He has yet to show us his official rank cylinder. So I mean, he could say he's an officer, but he's probably like, what Finn was working the janitorial services. Anyway, catch Brian on Facebook and Instagram. They post some really cool stuff about Sith lore and culture, and you guys will get a kick out of that. As for me, you guys can connect with me on Instagram and X at GKJ_publishing, where I talk about my books that I write. I talk about my show on YouTube, The Right Way, where we talk book recommendations, author interviews, and creative writing tips. I have a new episode coming out this Saturday. It's the first of 5 weekly episodes that are coming out throughout the entire month of April. It's going to be the spring preview this Saturday, and then after that, we are jumping into the author awareness April marathon. So each week, a new interview. And then, of course, you can join me on another show that I do on Feast of Fandoms called Snackame, where we talk anime and we eat snacks. And so, yeah.
All right. As for us here at War of the Stars, if you want to support the show, or if you want to get a hold of us, you can do so by our email, warthestars1@gmail.com. All other social media, Blue Sky, Instagram, X, and YouTube is at War of the Stars 77. And you can also get us now on TikTok. Just search War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. And you'll be able to see we've already put up a couple of TikToks up there. It's been a lot of fun. So check that out. If you want to support the show, Ko-fi.com/War of the Stars, or go to spreadshirt.com/shop/war-of-the-stars-. Of course, as Brian mentioned, we are a proud member of Feast of Fandoms. Check out all the shows of Feast of Fandoms. Literally a Feast of Fandoms, as the name would suggest, something for every fandom you can imagine, and then some. That will about do it. Again, have a wonderful Easter holiday, however you celebrate it. Easter, Passover, all of that stuff is coming up. So just have fun, be safe. And of course, as it says right there, may the Force be with you. Oh, I didn't say my thing. This isn't just my Star Wars. This is just your Star Wars. This is our Star Wars. Okay, you can wrap it up now.